streets of that city of gold, where we all can be together and be happy for aye, while the years and the ages shall roll. I'll meet you in the morning, meet you in the morning. How do you do? Sit down by the river, sit down by the river, fashion acquaintance renew. Know me in the morning, know me in the morning. Smiles that I wear, smiles that I wear. Meet you in the morning, meet you in the morning. City built and city built square.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a pleasure so far to hear what people have had to say. Just from the speakers that we've had so far up here giving devotions and messages, one thing that came to mind for me was freedom of choice. Yesterday in Deuteronomy, when it was talking about not forgetting God, Deuteronomy is where Moses is once again talking to Israel and basically re-giving them the covenant that had been given to them at Sinai. So he's reiterating to them of what they had dedicated themselves to back at Sinai 40 years prior, basically, because they were about ready at that point to enter into the promised land. And Moses was not going to be joining them. So they were at this point where they had this freedom of choice, where they could either follow this covenant or not again. And that was reiterated again by Joshua when they had conquered the majority of the land. He again told the people, what the state was, that it's like if they follow God, the blessings that they would receive, and if they did not follow God, what would follow. And Joshua said that, as for me and my house, we will follow the Lord. So again, a choice was presented before Israel. And then yesterday also in Hebrews, it was the audience there. They were well aware of who God was. They had been following Christ. They were not brand new to the faith. So they were being told about discerning between good and evil. So again, they had this choice, and it was their free choice to make whether they were going to do good or do evil. And over in, also last night they went over to Matthew chapter 13, and I will also go over there. They were talking about the purposes of parables. I will read through, starting in verse 1, the parable of the sower. On that day, Jesus went out of the house and sat down by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd stood along the shore, and he spoke to them at length in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground where it had little soil. It sprang up at once because the soil was not deep, and when the sun rose it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil and produced fruit, 100 or 60 or 30-fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. So, parables. It's basically a story that's supposed to present some sort of thought. All the parables that Jesus did were applications to the kingdom. But why would someone teach in a parable? If you're teaching, then normally the point when I'm trying to teach someone, when I'm trying to instruct, I'm trying to get a point across to people so that they actually understand what they need to do. So why parables? And he goes into it in verse 10 there. The disciples approached him and said, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" He said to them in reply, "Because knowledge of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven has been granted to you, but to them it has not been granted. To anyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. From anyone who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because they look but do not see, and hear but they do not listen or understand. Isaiah's prophecy is fulfilled in them, which says, we shall indeed hear but not understand, we shall indeed look but never see. Gross is the heart of this people. They will hardly hear with their ears. They have closed their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart and be converted, and I heal them." The audience that Jesus was speaking to was also a very learned people. His message was to the Jews, to Israel. So they already were very well aware of the law, and they've been following God. So none of this should have been new to them, because they were looking for a Messiah. So the entire point was that they had basically freedom of choice in front of them again, because the Lord was coming to them with a new covenant. So all they had to do was freely choose that if they wanted to, they could go up to Jesus and ask him, "What is this parable about?" So what about us today? Do we go to our pastors if we have questions about the message that's presented? Do we go to God to try and understand his word in that? How else are we going to use those freedoms that we have? Are we going to use that freedom of choice to say, stand up and give a devotion? Sometimes the hardest part is that when you actually get up here is trying to limit yourself to something specific. As when I start to read in that, my mind starts going everywhere, and then it's like, whoa, I can't stand up there. I don't know what to say. But thank you for the opportunity.